Hello and welcome to IRL Formula 2. Once again, I'm your commentator H Racing Green, and we are live from the Shanghai International Circuit in China for this 10th round of the championship. We are in crunch time of the season here this evening. As I said, round 10, this is round 10 of 12 in the season, and we are hoping for a great race. The Shanghai circuit is a favourite among Formula 1 fans in the official calendar. Certainly does seem to be one that is seen to provide some great racing, so hopefully that tradition carries on at this race. Out then on track, we have got most drivers, actually only 3 currently in the pits, all on an outlap. Here we are with Notorious LIP. We've got Notorious LIP. He currently runs in second in the championship. He is 2 points behind Delange, following that thrilling race in Australia last time out. That really changed up how things stood in the championship. Currently Delange leads. It is with Notorious in second. You've got Mike in third there, the top 3 covered by just 4 points. It's Craig in 5th still, and Jamie Met is currently 6th. All of those top 4 could win a race, could win the championship. And whoa, who is that who has just spun there? That is a Sauber. It looks to be Core Tactics there. Yeah, and he has not a lot of front wing. He has spun on the exit of the snail section. He's going to be coming straight back in again. What an absolute disaster for him. But as I was saying, the top 4 covered by 10 points at the moment, so any of those guys could still win this championship. We have this race, and then it's Mexico and Singapore to finish off the season. Oh dear, we get some lag there. As we are going to ride with Nitrigash as he starts. Oh dear, so the Red Bull driver starts his lap. That is not a great way to start the lap. Whoa, massive lag. Let's change on to someone else. It is Notorious LIP we are on board with. He goes to second for that corner. You usually take it in third, and you can see there it affected his run. He ran over the inside curb. Let's see as he runs through the fast left here. It's flat through there, and he's going to run down 2 gears. Since this tricky double left here, easy to lose the car on exit. Misses that apex there. That will affect his run out. Voids Card sets provisional pole with a 33.7. Notorious going through the snail section. Oh dear, we got lag all over the place. I don't know if this is my connection or if it's everyone else's. Let's see how this goes. Here he comes in towards the hairpin, and then he's going to accelerate out of there towards the final corner. Spots his braking point just past the bridge, turn in, just about hits the apex, runs just the right amount wide. He comes across the line. It's a 33.9, half a second off of Craig's 33.4 that he just set for provisional pole position. Here in the Williams is Sheepy, making his debut in IRL. He currently sits 4th for Williams, a 34.0, a good opening effort from him. Take a look at our championship leaders. Currently Delange has opted for the medium tyre. I'm not really sure what that's about. Like, that's not the tyre to qualify on. It's one of those circuits here where you can opt to qualify on the hardest compounded tyre, which is interesting. As you can see, Nitrigash has gone for the middle tyre, the soft. I've absolutely no idea why Delange would go for the medium, because the overcut using the medium will not be fast. The undercut here is pretty sizable, so anyone starting on the supers looking to go to the mediums towards the end of the race will have an advantage over him. and I can't see how he is going to make up that much time then on the super softs in comparison to those who have jumped him on the mediums. But we will have to see if he does start inside the top 10 on the mediums. That will be an interesting strategy to see play out. But it is also not helpful for his championship battle because he currently leads the championship by 2 points. His nearest rival is 3rd. His next nearest rival is 14th without a lap yet. Mike, they're in the pits still. And 4th place man Craig is on pole, provisional pole currently. So I am not quite understanding the thought process of Delange at this stage. We'll have to see how he gets on. So Spud with a 35.3 is currently 10th. He's just run out of fuel. He's not on a flying lap. That Delange still out. Everyone else in the pits. Nicky, he's 4th currently, so he's out-qualified Sheepy there. He is provisionally 4th at 33.9, so also half a second off of Craig. Pretty close from 2nd to 5th, only 3/10 between those guys. Field spreads out a little bit as we get further down. Obviously Nitric Ash on the soft tyre, that's a 2.5 second gap he's got to pole. I think Nicky is still on a flying lap, which is interesting that he's opted for 2 flyers on this run. Tyre wear here fairly high with those long sweeping middle sector corners. Does look like he is on a flying lap. He's not got the fuel icon, so he's certainly not struggling for fuel. It looks like he will be coming around to finish this lap any moment now through the hairpin. Gets the drive off of there. Yep, nicely done. And he comes into the pits, having just absolutely hammered round. He's coming to the pits, so let's hope he doesn't have to start on those tyres, because my word, that's effectively like having 2 laps set on them. Who's heading out then? We've got a car going out. That is the Red Bull of, well, I don't know. Tactics is out at the moment actually on the supers, having spun on his opening lap. He goes 6th fastest with a 34.0. We have got Dan Gibbo out on track. He did not have a great debut at Monza and hasn't had great luck since then. He's currently out. He's currently in 12th position at 35.6. Nitric Ash has headed out on the super soft tyre on his out lap at the moment. Weaving around a lot. Weaving around a lot for a super soft tyre out lap. That's going to really burn out the tyres. He's going to really want to keep that to a minimum because, as I said, this is a high tyre wear circuit, and Dan Gibbo retires from the session. He's run out of fuel. He's currently P12. He's not going to come back round and try and get out for a second lap. He has given up there. Currently on provisional pole is Craig, then 4th place man in the championship. It's Void's Cod in 2nd, 1/2 of the Super Sauber team. It's the Notorious LIP 2nd place man in the championship in 3rd. Nicky is 4th, and that's Sheepy 5th on his debut. Great effort from him so far. The championship leader Delange down in 10th, but he is on his outlap and he is now on the soft tyre, so clearly the medium's not what he was looking for there. And he's gone for the soft rather than... I'm again intrigued by that, because I really do think that unless he's going to try and go for soft, super soft, but I would argue that probably super soft medium is, or starting on the super soft regardless of what tyre you go onto next, is the best strategy. Here we go then. Nitric Ash is going to start his lap. He's currently last of the cars with a time, and he's cut the inside of that, and I feel like that's going to be an invalidation. But we'll have to see. Clearly a bit more turn-in on that Red Bull than he was expecting, as it ended up cutting the inside of the circuit. Down towards turn 4. He uses 2nd for that. Interesting that drivers are picking to use 2nd rather than 3rd. 3rd generally the faster gear for that corner. Allows you to carry more speed, allows you to get a better exit. through this middle sector he comes. It's been fairly smooth, doesn't quite use all the road available to him there. And it's going to be through the double left. Quite a tap-steery method of driving that he has. It's going to be into the left at the hairpin and then straight into the right here. He's going to want a short shift a little bit. Yep, there we go. But he's missed that apex by miles. Not going to allow him to get the cut back as much as he might have wanted. Doesn't allow him to get the power as early either. It's going to hurt his straight line speed a little bit, not too much. There's Mike on his outlap, allowing him through. Or might actually be Mike on a flying lap that he's messed up. Brakes just before 100 metres. Turns in, uses second gear. Back up through the gears. Nice traction through there. It's going to be this difficult left-hander at the final corner. He's slightly hesitant on the power, doesn't want to lose the rear end. He's going to come across the line. He does a 34 flat. So we currently have 6 drivers. 6 drivers. 5 drivers, sorry, covered by just over a tenth. So that's very, very close then. Let's try and find someone on a flying lap. I think Sheepy is on a flying lap here. Delange's gone 8th with a 34.3 on the soft tyres, and his championship rivals are 1st and 3rd. Mike, obviously in 2nd place in the championship, is down in 14th. Clyde and Tactics have taken the checkered flag. Oh, he misses the apex by miles. And that is going to really hurt his lap time. He's short shifting. He's probably going to come into the pits, one would imagine. Yes, there he goes. Delange, he is currently a 10th up in the first sector. He's going to go for a second lap on these soft tyres. He can do that. None of the other front runners have set their final times yet. We've got, as Mickey goes 3rd with a 33.8. Good lap from him. But another 4 tenths off Craig there. That's not ideal for him. Let's see what Delange does in this middle sector. He's still up, but not by quite as much. This is like Apex just by a fraction. It's Sir Spud for Mercedes with the fastest time. It's a 33.3. There's a Toro Rosso doing all sorts, and then Craig beats him again with a 33.309, less than 3/4 of a tenth. As the McLaren driver takes pole, that is, I think. Nitrosh is still on a lap. I don't know if he's doing anything quick. All the other drivers have set their times. Jamie Met, Notorious, and Sir Spud all improving. Void Scott as well, but none of them able to beat Craig's 33.3. There is Delange. He does a 33.9 to go 7th fastest. Nitrosh is 8th with a 34 flat. Sheepy with a 34 flat in 9th, and Tactics with a 34 flat in 10th. So the Saubers 5th and 10th, the Mercedes bookend the field, and that is a disaster for 2nd place man Mike, who I would imagine, was looking to try and take the championship lead from Delange at this round. That does not look like the case. It looks like Delange will open up his gap to Mike, but possibly could lose it to Notorious. Notorious there in 3rd. Delange in 7th, but Delange with, oh my word, and there's been some lag, and now the Haas and the Ferrari are ruined. Brilliant. Well, that's fantastic from Codemasters, thank you. We just wait for the timer to sit down. Oh, that Ferrari's got going again, brilliant, but that Haas is not going anywhere. Oh, watch on the replay, there wasn't even a lag, it was just the Haas AI driving into the Ferrari. There we go. So, on pole is Craig for McLaren, followed by an excellent performance from Sir Spud in 2nd, just 67 thousandths off. It's Notorious LIP in 3rd, a good position for him, looking to retake the championship lead he's held for a while and lost last time out. It's Jamie Met, the 2nd Ferrari, in 4th. It's a 2nd row lockout for the Scuderia. We've got the first Sauber of Voids in 5th. It's Nicky for Renault in 6th. Delange is 7th in the Haas on the soft tyre. Good effort. Nitrogash is 8th. Good effort from him. Sheepy 9th on his debut. And Tactics for Sauber in 10th. Miles, Clyde, Gibbo and Mike round out the field. And those guys will be looking to make up positions and try and get inside the points in the race. We're going to skip through that to avoid the copyright strike. It's clear weather then. Well, it's slightly hazy, but it doesn't look like the threat of rain is a particularly real one. But we'll have to wait and see as the race progresses, whether or not rain will play a part. So, as I mentioned, Delange is on the soft tyre, and that is an interesting strategy decision from him. To see what tyres he opts for in the second stint, but there we are on the formation lap. Craig leads the field away, and we are going to bring up all of the different telemetry aspects. So let's take a look at the tyres. Everyone, of course, in the top 10 on the supers, except for Delange on the soft tyres. We've got Clyde opting for the mediums. Gibbo and Mike have gone for the soft tyres. I would imagine that most will go for the super soft medium strategy. Those on the soft, starting on the softs, might try the soft, super soft strategy, or will go soft medium, which potentially isn't that beneficial, but we'll have to see. Those starting on the mediums, there's Clyde on the Renault, the only medium starting driver, probably aiming to go medium super soft or medium soft. Again, don't really see the benefit of using the too harder option of tyre. Round on the formation lap they come then. We're riding with the championship leader. Not the championship leader, sorry, the second place man in the championship, the former championship leader, until last week, when an absolute disaster of a race for Notorious resulted in him only picking up 5 points, while Delange picked up a full 12, which really swung the tide of the title battle as we head into these final stages. 2 rounds to go after this one. We have got 28 laps to decide what the championship will look like when we head to Mexico in 7 days' time. Oh, as he selects neutral on the formation lap. And there we go. We're going to come round onto the start-finish straight. We're going to get a horrible camera angle because this game is retarded. There's been some sort of incident back there. There's a Southern spun or something because he's miles away. Followed by the Renault of Nicky, Delange and the Toro Rosso. Nitro Gas, Sheepy in 9th. It's Tactics 10th. Miles, Clyde, Dan Gibbo and Mike rounding out the field. He is a long way back. We're going to get underway. Actually, we get a decent camera angle. We've got a better one from another driver. There we go. That's the one I like. They're lined up on the grid then, as they all get ready. Oh, we don't get the camera angle, but we're building up. It's 5 red lights, and we're away. It is, I don't know what sort of start it is. It is a good start from Notorious. LIP is going to go around the outside of Spud at turn 1. Craig is unchallenged for the lead in the McLaren. All the way around the outside goes LIP. He has got the move done. The other Ferrari of Jamie Met is coming under attack from Void's Cod, who takes the position. Nitro up to 6th. It is Delange down to 10th. The championship leader having a horrible start to the race. Oh, as up the inside goes Void's Cod. That is bizarrely reckless. He hits both the Ferrari and the Mercedes. Bits of front wing everywhere. And I think we will be seeing him in the stewards for that move, because it looked to me like he really did just misjudge his braking. I'm going to watch that back on the stream replay in a second. But that did not look all that clean. Mike is up to 10th place from the back of the grid. Oh, yeah, looking at the replay, maybe a racing incident. Looked like the Mercedes possibly moved in the braking zone. But Craig, back with the real-time race. Craig is 1.7 seconds up the road already. I don't know if Void's Cod has damage. It doesn't look like it. LIP doesn't, but Sir Spud does. So after that extremely strong qualifying, he is likely going to be at a severe disadvantage with such a with so much damage to his front wing. Let's see, is he going to come into the pits and try and do a long stint, or is he going to stick it out and hope for the best? He is staying out. So there you have it. Jamie Met is 5th. He's dropped a position to Voidscott. Voidscott going from 5th to 2nd on the first lap. It was possibly under slightly dubious circumstances. We'll have to see how that plays out after the race, but right now Voidscott is 2nd. There's a yellow, and Tactics, the other Sauber, is down at the back of the field. They'll have to see what has gone on with him. Spectate, he has spun at the first corner. He's missing a lot of front wing, and that is a disaster for the Sauber driver. He is not going to be pleased with that. Back with the leader then. Mike has just taken 2 positions in one corner. What has happened there? I'm missing all the action here. He's just passed. Oh, Miles and Nitrogash are in a battle themselves. Let's see this. As they've now got the is that the Renault of Clyde alongside? Yeah, that's, we're running with Miles here in 11th. He's got the 2 Renaults coming at him. He's got the medium running Clyde and Nicky behind. Nicky going from the 6th position all the way down to 12th now, so that's not been a great first lap from him. Nitrogash and Mike in 9th and 8th. Mike already up 6 positions. He's made a great start. Delange is back into 7th, so he's recovered slightly from that slightly poor first lap. Miles misses that apex by miles. As Voidscott, that's the fastest lap of the race. It is a 37.3 on lap 2. As there you are, race control, DRS is enabled, and some drivers heading into the pits. I think that's Gibbo and Tactics, possibly contact between those 2 then. And there's a yellow in sector 1. It's Delange who is dropping down. Oh, it's Jamie Met and Delange possibly in contact there. Not sure. That's at the oh dear, as Jamie is doing all sorts of pirouettes on the grass. That is at turn 1. And Jamie Met drops all the way to the back of the field. That is an absolute disaster for him. As we head back to the drivers that benefited from that. So Mike now up to 7th. That is 7 places in 2 laps. Great stuff from him. Delange currently in 6th. Sheepy on his debut is up 4 places from 5th, and he's challenging the damaged Mercedes of Sir Spud. With DRS this lap, I feel like the Williams driver is going to be having a pretty formidable attempt at that 4th place, and then may well be chasing down Notorious LIP for 3rd in the championship. In terms of the championship, it is 12 points for a win, 10 points for 2nd, and 8 points for 3rd. So if we take a look at that, Craig outscoring Delange would allow him to take the Craig outscoring Delange by over 10 points, so he effectively needs to win and Delange needs to not score for Craig to take the championship lead. But taking a big points haul over Mike and Notorious LIP will allow Craig to move up the championship table and start challenging Delange later on as we head into the final couple of rounds. Sheepy's dropped off the back of Sir Spud ever so slightly, and he's actually now got Delange right behind him, so already potential for those super soft tyres to be going off, and the soft tyres to start to come in a little bit more in comparison. We have to see how this middle sector plays out. Easy to be affected by dirty air in this part of the track, of course. Lots of aerodynamic dependency here, and following in another car's slipstream will have an effect on that. As you can see, Sheepy is right up behind Sir Spud. So through those fast sweeping corners, the front wing damage on the Mercedes is having a pretty big effect, but it is along the straights that Sir Spud seems to have a slightly more effective setup for straight lines, and doing things like that will not help Sheepy's attempts. Running onto the curb like that really is not good. Really doesn't allow the car to turn in. You just end up getting tons of understeer, a lot of vibration through the car, and you lose a lot of time. As we can see now, Delange is going to come up the inside into the hairpin. He hits, oh my word, that is quite appalling. Delange goes up the inside of Sheepy and smashes clean into Sir Spud. And Sir Spud has lost more front wing. He's going to stay out, but that is, well, that's quite terrible, to be honest. That's twice in this race now that Sir Spud has been involved in big incidents. He's opted to stay out, but that's clearly not worked out for him. He's down to 7th. Delange did let him back through, but I think he's done more damage to his race than that. And that is not good driving at all. Sir Spud having such a strong qualifying, and yet he has been taken out twice now. I don't like it when commentators are opinionated, but two drivers have just completely ruined Sir Spud's race in the space of 5 laps. And that is really not good to see. So here we are then. We've got Mike on the back of Sheepy now. Sheepy now up to 4th. He was about to be overtaken for 5th, and instead his assailant managed to wipe out the guy in front. Oh, as he runs wide, a lot of these drivers seeming to carry a little bit too much speed through that right-hander, start touching that outside curb. Really affects their run round the long right-hander and out onto this enormous back straight. Mike opening DRS. He's not quite close enough. Gap of 7/10. He won't have a go from back there. He's got a little bit more sense of himself. Oh, as Sheepy goes incredibly deep, really slows down. Mike closing in all the way up. Nearly hits him. As Sheepy then misses the apex at the final corner, gets a bad exit on the curb, but Mike doesn't get a great one either, losing the rear end a touch. They're going to come towards turn 1. Mike moves to the inside. He's going to go up the inside into the right-hander of turn 1. Sheepy brakes much later, carries a lot more speed. I feel like Mike could have had that move done, so Spud pits then. That's a disaster for the Mercedes driver. He's going to be down with Nitrogash and Dan Gibbo at the back. Not sure why Nitrogash is that far down actually. Tactics is in 10th currently. Oh, immense corner cut from Mike, and he's got in the gravel, and that will affect the performance of that right-hand tyre as he heads through here. And you can see him to lift off, running a little bit wide through there, and that's dropped him to almost a second behind Sheepy. So it would appear that mistakes are common with these drivers this evening. Not quite sure what's going on. Usually see pretty good consistency from them, but evidently not this time. Through this right-hander again, touches that outside curb, but not quite as much as he did last time. Out onto the back straight they come again then. He's close once more. About 4/10 this time rather than 6. Towards the hairpin, he's going to look up the inside. There he goes. There's nothing in front of him to hit this time. And there he goes up the inside. A lovely move. Will the Williams driver get the cutback? He doesn't. He looks to the inside. He does not. He backs out of it, decides against it, and Mike takes 4th place from Sheepy. Sheepy back down to 5th. And will have some work to do if he wants to take back 4th position, as it would appear that Mike has some good pace on those soft tyres. The extra longevity of that set probably helping him now, but this battling between the two has allowed the Haas of Delange to catch back up. Championship leader, despite that pretty catastrophic mistake with Sir Spud, showing that he still has good pace. As Mike runs wide at the hairpin, it does allow him to get a slightly better exit, but he doesn't want to be making too many mistakes like that, because you just know that Sheepy is going to be hungry to take back that 4th place and will not be taking any liberties if... will not be taking any prisoners. He will be taking liberties if Mike makes a mistake. But he does have to watch out for Delange behind. He's on the supers, while the other two, Delange and Mike, are on soft. She gives them that better long-term grip. Delange not quite opening out that corner as much as I would have expected. Takes quite a shallow lines there. It hurts his exit, but Sheepy has got an even worse exit somehow. Again, possibly touching that exit curb. Opens DRS. Sheepy has DRS as well, but the closer slipstream is going to demote Sheepy down to 6 unless Delange doesn't get this braking zone right. Sheepy's got extremely late. Mike runs off the track. Is Delange now going to pass the Mercedes as well? The Williams falls behind the Haas, back down to 6th position. So 4th place was not all that long-lived for Sheepy, and now Delange is going to be challenging Mike as we head onto the start-finish straight. Voigt's Card, Notorious, Craig, all in the pits. So those guys, what are they? I imagine will go onto the mediums, try and go to the end. I'm not sure, as Miles gets a 5-second penalty for stop going. Oh my word! Mike hanging out Delange to dry, and he gets absolutely spooked by Sheepy flying up the inside. Great opportunistic move from Sheepy. And he retakes the position. It's second place at the moment, not a net second place, but great driving from the debutant here. Sir Spurd sets the fastest lap of the race. The yard done by Sir Spurd with a 37.1 sets fastest lap. Just like to say, thank you everyone who's watching. We've got quite a few watchers this time. Thank you for the compliment on the commentary. I do try my best. Don't forget to head over to Invictus. The links are in the description. The championship table is at the top of the chat. I do enjoy doing this commentary, and once again we've been given a great race to commentate over. This is about the 4th one in a row now that it's been an absolute pleasure to commentate. Gaps starting to open up slightly as these three guys make slight mistakes in comparison to each other, but then it eventually closes back up, as we've just seen now. Sheepy is going to looking to go defensive, move slightly, but doesn't need to move that much. Delange knowing not to take too many risks, of course. As championship leader, he does not want to throw away a fight for does not want to throw away the championship lead in a fight for P6. He's going to want to just take some points, try and negate the points loss to his championship rivals, who are a long way up the table. Thank you, Connor. So as we saw there, Sheepy has pit off of the super softs, opting to go a lap longer than the other super soft runners at the front. And that's we're not sure what that will do in comparison to these guys. Of course, these guys are on the soft tyre. Nicky is staying up for another lap. He's currently 3rd. That's not a net 3rd, but he's currently 3rd on his supers. Possibly looking to go for a one-stop onto the mediums. I know Nicky is a no assist driver. He is driving on Monday in no assist, so he has a bit of strategy advantage, knowing just how these races here develop. We've got a funny camera angle, there we go. The two Renaults currently 3rd and 4th, so that's pretty good from them. I think once they make a stop, that'll put them about 8th and 9th, I think. So not too bad at all from them. A solid points haul in their championship battle. Where are they in the championship currently? Let's take a look. They're currently 4th in the championship, 3 points behind Mercedes and 10 points behind Ferrari. Only 11 off the championship lead, actually. The leader's Haas there. They're currently running in formation. They know that they do not want to throw away any points that they don't need to. Craig then on his fresh supers. Now that's interesting. I was expecting Craig to go onto a harder compound of tyre, as Voids and Notorious have done, onto the medium, possibly trying to do a one-stop. Craig has opted for a two-stop strategy, going onto these supers. We'll go onto the softs towards the end more than likely, but that is a really interesting one, because generally the one-stop is faster here. I think it's really hard to make up time from pit stops. But he's pulled up 4 seconds over Voids already, but of course those supers will not be at their optimum for long. They'll start to wear out, and Voids on those more durable mediums might start to catch him. Mike's still leading. I feel like if he is opting for the supers, he'll be looking to go another 8 laps. If he's looking for the mediums, he can pit at any point really. Now, from now on, he can pit whenever he likes. Craig here is closing up on the 2 Renaults. And he's going to want a dispatch of these guys pretty quickly, because they are not in the same race. You wonder actually because of the own battle that the two Renaults are in, trying to score Constructors' Championship points, will they just allow the McLaren to go past, knowing that there's nothing really to be gained and everything to be lost in battling the net race leader? Let's see how that develops. I would imagine Nicky's going to come in at some point. He stays out again on the supers. I don't think he's stopped. I'm just going to double check that. Let's go for interval stops. No, Nicky has not stopped. So Mike, Delange, Nicky and Clyde all without stops. And Clyde is looking up the inside. Oh, and there's contact between the Renaults. Just as I said, they don't want to waste championship points in a battle with each other. There's contact between the two Renaults. And that is, well, that's not great at all, is it that? And they're going to go side by side here. I am not sure. Craig is not going to want to get caught up in this battle. These Renaults really going to be costing themselves time. They're going to be costing themselves tyre wear. Nicky's tyres have got to be absolutely shot at this point. Clyde on those mediums. Oh my word, as he backs out mid-corner. Craig comes up the inside. He's on the super softs. He's going to look around the outside. He's going to turn to the inside for the next corner. Will he get the move done? He does not. Wants to back out of it. He's going to be just have his nose alongside. Moves out. He's going to look probably for DRS as Clyde gets a huge slide on. Slides out onto the AstroTurf on the outside of the corner. Craig goes up the inside. He's going to get DRS off of the next Renault as well, and hopefully should dispatch of the second car, or the leading Renault, sorry, on this straight. Doesn't get a great exit, 7/10 down, but one would imagine that those worn out super softs are not going to hold up particularly well as they head through the hairpin. Nicky has dropped a lot of speed. That's just setup and DRS related. Here we go then. Nicky is going to try and battle the net race leader. And this is, oh, and Clyde spins. Clyde has spun on the exit of the hairpin and has hit the inside wall. That's an absolute disaster for the Renault driver. I think if he pits onto soft tyres now, he might just about get to the end. Well, I think he will get to the end, to be honest. But that is an absolute bottle from him as Delange comes into the pits for medium tyres. Notorious jumps in. Royce is in third. Craig has taken both Renaults as Nicky has pit anyway. And Mike now with a 9-second lead over the McLaren driver, but he of course does have to stop, and he's going to just start dropping time as well to Delange, and he's sort of the main ones that he's battling with. Sheepy and Delange are Mike's main challengers, sort of in the battle for that fourth position. Craig has maintained the net lead, but he's only 3.5 seconds up the road from Void's Cod thanks to that battle with the Renaults, which really did not do him any favours at all. Yeah, I agree. Mike really will need to pit pretty soon, so he's otherwise going to be undercut by Sheepy and Delange. I think he's probably already been undercut by Sheepy, although Delange, 1.4 seconds behind is Delange, so, and on the harder tyre, so I'm feeling like he will be undercut, but Sheepy on the soft, so there's potential for a two-stop there. It's really unknown about how drivers' tyre wear develops. I mean, let's take a look. The closest battle note is Sir Spud there. We're going to switch to him. He is chasing down Miles for 7th place at the moment, but he is on the super, so he will have to stop again. Mike is in. Mike is in the pits. He's gone from the medium tyres. He's down to 3rd. He'll be down to 4th. It's whether or not he will drop down to 5th or indeed 6th in the pits. He's 4th. He's got 22-second gap. 16. And Sheepy has beaten Mike out of the pits. There we go. But Sheepy likely has to stop again. And Delange and Mike are going to be extremely close together. Can he do anything? Mike, of course, needs to get his tyres up to temperature. Delange has been on those tyres for a couple of laps now. But it doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like Delange can beat the Mercedes driver. The man who is 2nd place in the championship. Sorry, the man who is 3rd place in the championship, and the man who's 1st in the championship as we ride on board with him. I'm confused by Craig on the supers. He's going to need to pull out a long way, because currently, if he makes a pit stop, that's not what we want. We want leader. Yeah, if he makes a pit stop, that's probably about 20 to 22 seconds. He's going to come out in 8th place. That's a long way to fall, especially when you're in the championship battle and you've been on pole. and you're not pulling away that much, only 4-second gap. He needs like 16 seconds really to Voids to be able to make up time later on. We'll have to see how that goes though. Interval again. Surspud, Nicky and Miles close together as well actually. There is Surspud on the back of the Toro Rosso, and he's got the Renault driver behind him as well. Of course, Surspud starting on the front row had his race ruined twice in 2 laps, knocking off one, getting his end plate knocked off by one driver, and then getting the other half knocked off by another. It was an absolute well, to quote Ben Edwards, it was absolutely omni-shambles for Surspud, and through really no fault of his own. I mean, he was just clattered into it, 2 heavy braking zones. I'm going to take a look at Surspud actually, because he is challenging Miles for that 7th place. I mean, it's not a net 7th place, obviously he has to, not a genuine 7th place, he's got a pit yet, but he is making the most of his battles while he can. Core Tactics, they're down in 11th, losing his front wing early. Not great for him, not been a great showing. Second fastest Sauber again. Started P10, down in P11. Actually, Nicky is looking fairly feisty on the back of Surspud. Seems to have great pace, pretty good consistency actually. And here we go, Surspud running a little bit wide onto the back straight. Nicky's going to tack into the slipstream. He's going to pull out onto the start-finish, onto the back straight. Opens DRS, pulls up alongside him, and into the braking zone. He's going to have that done on the Mercedes driver, I think. Oh my word, Surspud runs very deep. Not going to get the cutbacks, run a little bit too wide there. Surspud then pits. He's been passed by Nicky. He's decided that's enough on those tyres. He's going to pit, probably go for a set of softs. We'll have to see. Go for another set of softs. Yeah, softs. There we go. Looking at the order, not a lot happening at the moment. The closest actually we've got is Delaney on the back of Mike. Craig now 5 seconds clear of Void's car. He's going to need probably another 5 before he pits for his soft tyres. That's going to get harder and harder as those super soft tyres wear out. There we are, Delaney opening up that corner a little bit more, starting to lift off the throttle. Oh dear. At the apex, but actually runs wide coming through there and ruins his run out onto the start-finish straight. Miles is now actually coming under pressure from Nicky as well. Nicky is on an absolute charge. I would not be surprised if he catches up to the 4th, 5th, 6th place battle between Sheepy, Mike and Delange, I'll be honest. We'll just have to see how he gets on. I'm going to ride with Mike here. I'm going to follow Mike around for a few laps, see if he can make any inroads on the Williams of Sheepy. Sheepy is going to have to make another start from those softs, I would imagine. I don't know, he might have great wear on them. But it doesn't, he doesn't even pit a lap later than the front runners, and I don't feel like that's really long enough of an extension to make the soft tyre strategy viable, but we'll see how he gets on. Goes back in the pits, he's down to P12, puts Core Tactics into 9th, Jamie into 10th, well, not a great race for Jamie, spun early on, as we saw, couldn't really get the car righted, and he is dropped from 4th all the way down to 10th place, only 1 point currently for that position. I'm just going to ride with Nicky, because he's actually closer to the back of Miles than Mike is to Sheepy at the moment, and I think we could be seeing an overtake made on this back straight, if Nicky can keep his head in it. Nice run through there, actually. Gets a decent cutback, doesn't run too wide. It's only half a second. He is closing as well. He's going to want to tuck into that slipstream. He opens the DRS. He's going to head towards the hairpin. He's a little bit too far back. Pulls out of the slipstream. Craig pits then. Craig's in the... Oh, as he gets very close to the back of him into the hairpin. Oh, contact nearly made, but he just manages to keep it under control. Craig's in the pits. Craig's gone for the soft tyre. He's down to 4th, 5th. He's going to be 6th. Is he going to get ahead of this battle? Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? He's there. He's going to come out right into the path of Nicky. Oh, there's nearly contact. Nicky has to turn into the corner, takes avoiding action. And now we have got a three-way battle for P6. Craig is in between these two guys, and he is on those fresh tyres. He's going to want to make ground up fast. I've chased the wrong thing. Tactic starts from wing damage. Just observe there. And Craig looking. He goes up the inside of Miles. Miles just... Oh, Miles turns in, aggressive defending, doesn't really, doesn't leave an inch for Craig on the inside of that corner. Craig's going to have to wait now for pretty much the entire middle sector before he can make a pass on the Toro Rosso driver, and he does not want this. He does not want to be stuck behind cars that he's not really in a race with, because all the while he's here, he's going to be stuck and losing time to the race leaders. Miles runs flat off the circuit on the exit of that left-hander. Craig's going to go out the inside for P6, but that is going to give DRS to the Toro Rosso driver, and there's contact there. Miles and Nicky made contact as Nicky tries to get the cutback on the Toro, as Miles tries to get the cutback on the McLaren, sorry. He made contact with the Renault, bashed him off the circuit, and he has dropped down 2 seconds. Let's see. That's really odd. Craig is pulling away at the end of the straight there over the Toro Rosso. I don't know if he lifted off the throttle slightly or changed to a lower engine mode, but that was quite strange. But Craig now, and there we go, into the pits comes Miles, so interesting two-stop strategy from him. That's going to promote Nicky up to 7th. I don't think Nicky is going to be challenging Craig, and Miles gets another 5-second stop go for speeding in the pit lane. That is quite incredible. He's managed to get 2 of those now. So, not great. He needs to work on his pit entries, I think, is something for him to do. Let's look, close battles. Mike is half a second behind Sheepy. Sheepy is currently running in a podium position. I mean, it's not a net podium position, because I think he's still going to stop. He'll stop for some supers at the end of the race, I would imagine. Try and go fast, try and get some passes done. Not too difficult to pass here. I don't know if you mentioned that. Two-stop strategy being taken by drivers because they know it's not that hard to pass here, but it is difficult to make up the time generally. So an interesting strategy call to go for a 2-stop here. As you see, most drivers on softs or mediums now, so a lot of them aiming for that 1-stop. Let's see though, Mike is following Sheepy as they come around the snail section. There's 10 laps left to go. This is for, well, I think Mike will have the podium position anyway from the back of the field. He's now fighting for a podium. This has been an absolutely stellar drive from the Mercedes driver. Where is that Williams? It's on the inside. There is a great attempt from Sheepy to defend that, but Mike goes all the way around the outside at the hairpin at the end of that straight. That is a great bit of racing once again. Really, really good to see. As Craig sets the fastest lap of the race, 36 flat. He's only 2.8 seconds behind Delange, but it's a big gap to the leaders. I mean, let's take a look. Let's stick it on leader gap. I mean, Craig has 16 seconds to make up. I don't think he's going to do that in 9 laps, but we'll have to see how it goes. Change it back to interval. Sheepy isn't dropping off of Mike too much. Do we think he can make an attempt back on that position, or is he going to? You think he must be coming in for a new set of tyres fairly soon, but I don't know for certain. Clyde is actually only half a second off the back of Jamie Met. Let's ride with him. This is the battle for 9th place. This is the difference between 1 point or 2 points, so one of these drivers could double their money here. Pretty of a disappointment for Jamie, I would imagine. Qualified 4th, pretty strong from him. Second row lockout for Ferrari in qualifying, but did not come to fruition in the race so far, thanks to that spin from Jamie early on. Clyde can probably be quite pleased with his race. He was outside the points in qualifying, he's now inside the points and is fighting for more points than he currently has, so I don't think he has any reason to be upset. Probably would have liked to have not spun, and probably be up with Nicky fighting for 7th and 8th. Sheepy is in the pits, there you are, so Craig puts Craig into 5th. But he's still going to lose points to the guys ahead of him, but he is only 9/10 off the back of Delange, so potential for him to make up some ground on the championship leader here, but we'll lose ground to Notorious and Mike. Yeah, Sheepy is on the supers, so he's going to come out the pits. There he goes, around the first corner. You just caught a glimpse of him there. Miles just has this time penalty. Looks like Clyde is looking for any way through on this Ferrari. He appears to have slightly better pace, of course, on the soft tyres, fresher soft tyres I think as well actually. And Voidscock gets 3-second time penalty, interesting. I haven't seen that many people get 3-second time penalties. Interesting to see where they're getting them. I think Voids must have just got that one at these corners, so he must have, I'm quite sure he's managed that, but we'll have to see. He might have run wide actually, you can get one for running wide for some reason. Look how much more traction that McLaren has on the soft tyres compared to the worn tyres that the other guys are racing with. Opening the DRS, Craig is going to come up behind Delange. Is he going to go for that dive up the inside? Brakes just before the 100 metres, he looks up the inside. Delange goes wide, possibly looking for the cutback, but that he actually opts to hang it around the outside. Craig very hesitant again. Something we've noticed from Craig this season is he's very hesitant in battles. Sometimes seems a little bit afraid to just go for it, but seems like he might have that move done now with the DRS at the inside. Some more of that tentative braking into turn 1 almost caused Delange to actually hit him there. Now he's got 3 seconds to make up to Mike to try and take back a podium position, and then it's 7 seconds to Notorious. And I'm just not sure. I mean, he's made up another 3 seconds. He's only about 13 seconds behind the leader, but it's still a long way to make up in 7 laps. I mean, that's 2 seconds a lap, plus 3 overtakes to take the lead. And I'm not sure he's going to be able to do that. The two-stop strategy doesn't look like it's paid off for Craig here. Of course, no safety car, so there's no chance of anything like that affecting the result. The Codemasters so utterly useless that the safety car is broken, and they've decided that the game is in good enough condition not to patch it anymore. So sadly, we won't be seeing any safety cars in any season, I don't think, across the board, which is really a shame. It's a great element to the game, but anyway, back with the race. As you just saw there was a little yellow light flashed up on his fuel, showing that he has just dropped below the target to finish the race. So he is clearly pushing. That is a Mercedes. That is Mike. So Mike 2.5 seconds up the road from Craig. Craig is closing in fairly rapidly. Oh, misses that apex at the first corner by just a little bit. But he is still catching him down to 2.1 seconds, the gap. Clyde's still there, pretty close behind Jamie, but he's yet to make the pass stick. Sheepy is 8th, so, and Sir Spurtus has passed Clyde. Well, there you go. Oh, Clyde's pits. Ah, I see. So, not a great race for the Renault driver there. That's not going to help his team's championship battle. He's done 12th, I imagine he'll possibly drop to 13th. I'll have to see. 1.9 the gap for the McLaren to the podium position. He will make up ground on Delange. I think he'll gain 2 points on him. Yeah, I think that'll be 2 points here on him there. If he can get 3rd place, he'll make up 1 point if the race finishes like this. But again, that's not really enough. If he only makes up 1 point, that's going to leave him with a 9-point deficit to the championship lead, plus the 2 guys in front of him. If he can beat Mike, he will close in on Mike as well. He'll close in on first and third, but it looks like LIP is a little bit out of reach for Craig. LIP will score 10 points if he finishes where he is now. Delange will score 6, so that's a 4 points, so the championship lead will swing back 2 points in favour of Notorious if he finishes like this. But Notorious will pull out 2 points on Mike. They get the gap 4 points between those guys. Gap has slightly stabilised now. He's not quite making up the time he was before. 1.8 seconds. He was sort of gaining nearly a second a lap, sort of 6 to 7 tenths a lap, but now that's sort of come down to only 3 tenths that last lap. Possibly the soft tyres starting to go off, but I don't see how they can be going off any more than the mediums that have done a lot longer in this race, so possibly Mike really flexing his tyre saving muscles, as it were. Actually there, Craig is taking a big chunk out in that middle sector, of course, very aero dependent, very grip dependent, so having fresher, softer tyres will be a big advantage there. Of course this sector is pretty much just a straight and one braking and a braking zone. So not much time to be gained through tyres on this section, only setup and how well your exit is. Mike is actually closing in on Notorious, the gap now down to 4.9 seconds, so he's closed in about a second and a half over the past couple of laps. 1.3 the gap now, so he's brought that down again at 6 tenths of that lap, so possibly a little mistake from Craig last time round. We are just riding with Craig because there's not a lot else to look at. Let's just take a look at the battle between the Mercedes and the Ferrari for P9. That is Sir Spud right up behind Jamie. Let's see, can the Mercedes driver do anything? Can he claim an extra point? Oh dear, almost forgets to turn in a touch there. He's closing up on the Ferrari in that corner, but just not quite getting the run through the long corners that he needs. Clyde's fastest lap of the race at 35.8. He switched on to the supers. He's down in 13th, but setting fast laps now as we head into the final stage of this race. 4 laps to go at the end of this one. We head through the middle sector once more. Sheepy actually on the back of Tactics. As he runs extremely wide there though. There's all sorts of battles going on. Sir Spud right up behind Jamie now. Jamie looking to be making a few mistakes here actually. Coming under pressure from Spud. Whoa, right up behind, and he actually misses the apex. He brakes extremely late there. It's affected his run through that corner. It's now going to affect his exit out onto this back straight. I'm just going to look quickly ahead to Sheepy. He does not manage to get the move done. I would have expected him to actually outbrake Tactics. I mean, he was less than 3 tenths behind as they headed towards the braking zone. That probably could have been a fairly brave move. Here we go, similar sort of distance for Sir Spud and Jamie. He opts against it as well, despite the fact that it looked like Jamie actually looked to be offering him room on the inside of the corner. He does not take it. He's going to wait again. Sheepy's right up behind the back of Tactics as well, but nothing coming of it at the moment. Looking back up to Craig, 1.1 seconds the gap still, so he's not gaining much at all now. And Craig is made 9.5 seconds off the race lead, so his strategy not quite working out for him. The one stop evidently proving to be the more effective of the strategies this evening. That's actually he's actually got front wing damage still, those Tactics. I did mention that earlier, so great job from him to be defending from a car on much fresher, much softer tyres and holding on to the position. Oh, sorry, I completely zoned out there. Was not paying any attention at all, but this battle has just heated up. Tactics moved to the inside there at the hairpin. He was coming under pressure from the DRS running Williams, and he's now got a horrible exit off of there. That front wing damage doing great, having a great effect on him. He's moved to the inside though. Sheepy's going to look to the outside. The Sauber decides against holding it to the inside. That front wing damage probably having a part to play in that. He is still there. You can just see him in the mirror, but there is not a lot that the Sauber can do. Front wing damage, the softer tyres on the Williams. That is about that. Craig then half a second behind Mike. I think we are going to be seeing a change for position. Mike, whether he finishes third or fourth, this has been a great drive from him. He's only 3 seconds behind Notorious now. Could we be seeing actually Craig challenging the championship leader? That would be excellent for his championship bid if he can try and take a chunk out of the championship leader. Quite a long way to go in a lap or two, but anything can happen. Craig still has good pace, but a little bit too far away this time around. I think Craig is running a much higher wing setup than the Mercedes is, because he gains a lot in the middle sector and loses down that back straight. The start finish straight still has DRS, but it's not quite enough at this point. 4/10 gap. We've got 1 lap to go at the end of this one. Oh, Craig throwing the car into turn 1. He is giving absolutely everything to this now, this battle for third place. Can he get anything done? He's got a good exit off of turn 2 through the kink at 3. It's going to be in the braking zone of turn 4. Can he make anything happen there? He cannot. Doesn't even look to the inside actually. That's interesting. Now it's going to be through the middle sector. It's pretty single file. Pretty single file through there. Through the left and now the right. Nothing happening. Tactics is still right on the back of Sheepy there. You can see on the interval graphic at the side, and Clyde is right on the back of Nitrogas. We've got all sorts of battles happening. We're going to ride with Craig again as he heads. He gets a nice line through there. He's going to want to open the corner out, uses that inside curve to rotate the car. Mike runs a little bit wide. He hugs that inside as much as he can. He's flat out. There we go. Right, that's a good run. Mike has moved across already. He's going to want to go defensive. 3.5/10 gap. Opens DRS. He hasn't got the fuel light on, so it looks like he's got enough for rich mix. There is going to be 1 lap to go at the end of this one. Mike moves back onto the racing line. Brakes later. Oh, Craig just lets the brakes off and runs flat all the way up the inside. Mike retakes the position, and I feel like that is going to be it. Unless Mike makes a mistake or Craig gets some incredible run on this final lap. Let's see how it goes. Not sure about penalties actually. Clyde gets a position time penalty. Voids could be losing the win. I know he has a time penalty. I don't know if LIP does. Same with Mike. I don't know what penalties people have. I don't think either of these guys do, but I know Voids definitely has one. So, and he's losing time to Notorious as it is anyway. But back with this battle. Look at that, top 4 all can see each other actually. That's quite impressive after a race this long. These guys all still that close. I mean, incredible drive from Mike. He's come through from stone dead last and even set a lap in qualifying. He is up to 3rd, battling for the podium position. That one stop working wonders for him. Craig's strategy didn't quite pay off for him. He's not quite in that position to fight the leader. The yellow in sector 1, someone's gone off there. It's a little inconsequential for us at the moment. Here we go then. Craig hugging the inside of the corner. He's so close to the back of that Mercedes. There's another, is it Clyde or Miles or someone has crashed. I think it's Miles in sector 1. It does not matter though right now, because we have got Craig looking to take 3rd place from Mike. Mike drifts across onto the racing line. He's going to block him at the apex, and Craig doesn't turn into the corner and sort of just drives off the circuit a bit there. But there you are. That is Void's Cod with the win. LIP takes the win. He does. He takes it on penalties. Mike is 3rd. It's going to be Craig 4th. Delange, the championship leader, will come home in 5th position. Nicky, a good drive to 6th. Suffered a little bit of hardship on the first lap, but he has maintained his qualifying position. Sheepy has gained 2 positions on his debut. A good points finish for him. Core Tactics is going to come home in 9th. It's Jamie. So Core Tactics is 8th. Jamie is going to come home in 9th with Sir Spud from the front row down to 10th. An absolute disaster for him. He was pretty unfair on him, really, actually, I would say. We've got this final battle for P11, Nitrogash versus Clyde. Don't think any changes going to be made here. Clyde's tyres are dead. Nitrogash will hold on to P11, I think. Miles and Dan Gibbo rounding out the field in P13 and P14. Just got to wait for them to cross the line. Miles runs out of fuel, he gets a 10-second time penalty. It's an absolute disaster, so Dan Gibbo could actually beat Miles here to P13 for the honour of not being last. There he goes, yes, that's P13 for him. There you are then, that is the podium. Notorious LIP retakes the championship lead by, well, I think that's going to be a 4-point difference now. You are 4 points over Delange as we head to Mexico next time out. Great drive from Mike. Absolutely drive of the day for him, coming from P14, last on the grid to finish 3rd. Avoids Cod with a good drive, leading all the way, but sadly penalties got in the way of him taking that victory. And there you are, Notorious LIP with the win. Voids Cod in 2nd, Mike in 3rd, Craig from pole down to 4th. The 2-stop strategy not proving beneficial to him. Delange is 5th, he has lost his championship lead. And I think he may well have lost 2nd place in the championship, actually. I think Mike will have overtaken him there. Craig 4th. That's Craig will remain 4th in the championship. Nicky is 6th there. Holds his position, good drive from him. Sheepy is 7th, up 2 places on his debut. Great drive. Tactics is 8th, he left immediately, he's clearly not happy with that. Jamie 9th, the spin cost him dear early on. Sir Spud from 2nd to 10th, an absolute disaster for him. Once again, I feel he was very hard done by. Nitrogash was 11th, it was Clyde in 12th, Gibbo was 13th, and Miles dropped to 14th. He had a mammoth 31 seconds of penalties. Well done to him for that. That's quite the achievement. So there you go. That was the Chinese Grand Prix in IRL F2. We head now to the final 2 rounds of the season with our championship battle still open to 4 people, I think. Yeah, it is. Yep, still open to 4 people. Any one of Delange, Notorious LIP, Mike or Craig could win it. So tune in next week to see how that battle unfolds, and indeed tune in the week after that for the finale. But until then, I've been your commentator, H. Green. Thank you very much for watching, and until the next time, good night.